Welcome to TradersArmy.com, defending your right to build wealth and preserve capital for generations to come. Yeah, Monday. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. Hope everybody had an absolutely amazing weekend. We are about to get rolling on a brand new start to a brand new week. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, click that subscribe button down below so you get the updates as they become available. Let's dive right in. So last night we had a live trading room and went over a couple of different positions, and some of them are coming into play, so I want to kind of cover those first. For those of you that are members of the Traders Army room, you'll see some of the levels that we identified last evening. So one of them is here in the S&P, and we've come all the way to the bottom of this level. Now, this was based on the gap fill area. So based on the gap fill area. Now, unfortunately, we've kind of come just a little bit below it. Not in my mind enough to stop us out if you got long on this position. If you recall yesterday, I talked about, your stop has to be kind of below this area here. That's really the more opportune way to look at it. And we're starting to get a little bit of a move out of it. I will tell you this, remember, we looked at this on a 15-minute time period. And so if you're looking at this on a 15-minute time period, you're not getting a whole lot of movement out of here. So I don't feel super strong about this level. Matter of fact, I think there's a chance that this level's not going to hold out any longer. And if you guys remember, we looked at the level in the NQ, and I didn't like it as much in the NASDAQ. Matter of fact, I felt that the better level was down here on the hourly chart. On the hourly chart, you can see that we have this long leg down, this little bit of a wick up. I thought this was a little bit better of an opportunity in order for price to get long. Matter of fact, on the S&P, the level that I really like the best, if you do want to try that long, is down here on the 4-hour chart. Now, on our 4-hour, if you look at it, we technically have higher swing high, higher swing low over the last movement. However, if this 4-hour doesn't hold, then in my mind we're now in basically sideways price action, which is essentially some chop, right? So we still may get a little bit of a move out of this level where we are right now. I'm not planning on very much. Matter of fact, if you did take this thing to the upside, I would move your stop to break even or get out of it right away. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4 candlesticks. My rule is 6, and we entered this on the 15-minute time period, so just keep aware of what that may occur. NASDAQ, our level down here is on the hourly chart. Nothing really to add from what we had looked at yesterday in the overnight sessions. Looking at the NASDAQ kind of gap area, I definitely felt weaker about the NASDAQ gap area, and that's kind of what's played out here. It's just not getting us the same return. Same thing in the Russell. We looked at the Russell last night for a potential trade area, and it is also significantly lower as well. Crude oil. So in crude, we had set up a 15-minute level down below here. Price has not quite gotten to there yet. And then our next area is this hourly area up here, 50.17 by 50.87. That would be really the potential reversal level. Now that level was essentially, there's a fair amount of wicks that are overlapping in here. Price has not gotten to there yet, so we'll kind of leave that area in play for today. Gold. So in gold, we had a confirmation short setup here. So price did come into our level. Remembering our 6 candlestick rule, this was our activation level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my gut's telling me that this gold level is not going to really amount to much, and it's probably better off to get out of this position, or if we are profitable after the next candlestick, at least move our stop to break even, so that not a whole lot more can happen on this trade. Looking at this on a 4-hour chart, the reason I had taken that short was because it looked like we may have a bit of another leg down to get to this area down here. It is definitely the reason that we made it a confirmation entry, is because remember, we're going against the big picture here, right? So your probabilities are always a bit lower when going against the big picture, and the level was fairly clean on the 1-hour time period, but it was still against the big picture. which is why we've gotten meh kind of movement from that point. So if this indeed breaks, I think you could actually get a break higher above 12.95. So if you didn't take the short and you're still kind of holding out, I think you may get a little bit of a break higher. There's this little level here that could act as a stall point. But ultimately, I think with the basing we're getting below it, I think there's a chance price will continue to move higher. So just take your stop and diligently watch it and be careful with it from that area. Now, bonds. So looking here at the ZN, in our ZN level, we have a confirmation short up above us here. That would be seen on the 15-minute time period. It's this little area right in here. We came close to it and moved away. We're now coming fairly close to it again and kind of sort of moving away. Not a whole lot of great movement around that area yet. In the Aussie, we've got a confirmation level above us. We're really kind of, we had that parabolic move up right here, and we're kind of stalling heading into it, which is why it was moved to a confirmation entry. And that was also, that was evident in the euro as well. The euro, we had that clean price action. Price came into this euro level, and then we're kind of just chopping around inside of here. We got a little bit of a pop above. In my mind, your stop has to be up above this wick here, and so technically probably not hit the stop yet. However, moving forward, I don't see this thing being a great opportunity. If you're short it, I don't think you've been stopped out yet, but I would definitely take your stop and move it when price does. If we get 6 candlesticks again, I don't feel like this one has a whole lot of downside movement. I feel like the U.S. dollar has shown some weakness in the overnight sessions, and these currencies are indeed relating. Canadian dollar, we'd set up a potential for a long right here if price gave us a retest. It did not give us a retest yet, but still is very valid and still very possible heading into the next little bit. And then in the pound. So in the pound, I had said, hey, it looks like we could be setting up for a breakout. But remember, anytime you take a breakout in a Globex, you take a bit more risk. And so we technically have a breakout in the last candlestick, and then we've kind of come back down from there. And now we're just kind of chopping along. So not a whole lot is occurring on that one either. So just be aware of that movement. And then the Japanese yen, I had talked about last night a potential breakdown below here in order for price to get down to here for a short swing trade opportunity, price to kind of make it down to there. So all in all, not a whole lot occurred in the overnight hours, although a lot of our levels have either entered or come into the area, but they're all kind of stalling out. So we've hit them, but none of them are really making that big movement that we would like to see. And so, without getting that movement that I would like to see, I'm really more hesitant to add to the positions, and I think our better levels are a little further away from price. And sometimes I find myself guilty of that, and frankly, all of us can get guilty of that. We take levels that are not as high a quality because we want to get into something, right? Whereas the better levels are a little further away, and this NASDAQ's a good example of that, right? Without forcing the level, you're going to have a better opportunity. So we had a couple of confirmation entries that kind of didn't really look amazing, and not all of them have broken through and hit their stop losses yet, but none of them are also reacting in a lot of strength. So we're going to be a little bit more cautious as we kind of head into today. I think there's a chance we could see a bit of a rollover, off of our latest thrust higher. We talked about a number of different options positions last night. Everything from O'Reilly to Lululemon to Baba to AGN and LLY that all may have potentials today. So keep an eye on the private trade feed as those get updated for today. For those of you that are not subscribers of TradersArmy.com, go to the website, TradersArmy.com, so that you can learn a bit more about what it is that we do each and every day. And I will talk to you all soon. Thanks so much and have a great day. See you.